Welcome to Tirumala Vaibhavam YouTube channel. Today we will dive into another spiritual story. Do subscribe and like the video for more such deep spiritual content.
In our universe, we know one thing for sure. Everything has a beginning and everything has an end. It's a fundamental rule from the smallest life form to the biggest star. But what if there's an exception, a principle that stands completely outside of time? Today, we're going to explore a mystery that's not quite a story, about a birth that's not really a birth. We're diving into the origins of the one they call Mahadev, the great god, Shiva.
And right away, we run into this beautiful paradox. How can you even talk about an origin for something the scriptures call Adi and Nadi, which literally means without beginning or end? You see, the ancient texts don't just give you a simple, neat answer. Instead, they offer you something much deeper, a truth that's wrapped in symbols, inviting you not just to learn, but to really contemplate.
Just let that statement sink in for a second. It completely frames how we have to think about this. Other deities might come to Earth as avatars or appear during some big cosmic event. But Shiva's existence is described as something totally different, an eternal, self-sustaining reality. He doesn't come into being, he simply is. And this whole incredible idea is captured in one single powerful word.
Swayambhu,
Self-manifested.
it means something that exists entirely on its own, an energy that is its own source, without needing any external creator. So if Shiva was never really born, then where did the idea of him even come from? Well, to find the earliest whispers of him, we have to travel way, way back in time, to the very first sacred hymns of Hinduism, the Vedas.
You see, before the Shiva that we might picture today with the crescent moon and the serpent, there was Rudra. And in the ancient Rig Veda, Rudra is this powerful, complex, and kind of wild deity. He's a god of the storm, the wind, all the untamed forces of nature. And people looked at him with a mixture of total awe and, to be honest, a good deal of fear. And this is where it gets really fascinating. Rudra had this profound duality. On one hand, they called him the roarer, the howler, whose arrows of lightning could strike anywhere. You definitely didn't want to get on his bad side. But then, and get this, in the very same hymns, people are pleading with him as the greatest healer, the best of all physicians, who holds 1,000 medicines. They're asking the same terrifying God to keep them safe and healthy. This incredible mix of terror and grace, that's the very seed from which the Shiva we know today would eventually grow. To the people of that time, Rudra was an immense primordial power. As the father of the Maruts, he was literally the commander of the storm spirits themselves. He was seen as the mightiest of the mighty. And this concept of a fierce, untamable, but ultimately good power that exists at the very edge of creation, it didn't just fade away, oh no. It deepened, it evolved, and it set the stage for one of the most iconic stories in all of Hindu mythology. So as time went on, this idea of a wild primordial god evolved. When we get to the Puranas, these later texts filled with epic stories, we find a very different kind of origin story. It's not about a birth, not really. It's about a cosmic revelation. And it's probably the most famous story explaining Shiva's boundless, formless nature. Okay, so picture this. You've got two of the biggest forces in the universe, Brahma the creator and Vishnu the preserver. And they're locked in this huge argument about who's the greatest, who's the ultimate power. And this wasn't just some small disagreement. Their debate was so intense, it was literally threatening to tear the fabric of the cosmos apart.
And then, right in that moment of crisis, something impossible appears. This colossal, blazing column of pure light, a Jyotirlinga. You couldn't see a top, and you couldn't see a bottom. It just stretched up and down, forever, into infinity. Humbled, and maybe a little confused, the two gods decided to make a challenge out of it.
So, Brahma transforms into a magnificent swan and just rockets upwards, faster than thought, determined to find the very top of this thing. At the exact same time, Vishnu takes the form of a mighty boar and starts digging down, tearing through realm after realm of existence, trying to find its foundation. And they traveled for, well, time kind of lost all meaning, for what felt like eons, through countless worlds and dimensions. And what did they find? Nothing. The pillar just kept going. The top was nowhere in sight. The bottom was nowhere to be found. It was absolutely, completely boundless. So Vishnu, completely humbled by this experience, came back and bowed.
He admitted, this thing is infinite. His ego just dissolved. But Brahma, he couldn't bring himself to admit defeat. He came back and he lied, claiming he'd reached the top. And in that very instant of falsehood, the pillar of fire cracked open, and from within emerged the awe-inspiring form of Shiva himself. He revealed Brahma's lie, and in doing so, he established a profound truth. You can't measure the ultimate reality. You can't contain it, and you certainly can't grasp it with your ego. It is and always will be infinite.
So you see, this incredible story of the fiery pillar isn't really about a literal birth at all. It's this powerful metaphor for how impossible it is for our minds to grasp the absolute. And that's why all the other stories about Shiva's origin aren't contradictions. They're more like different philosophical lenses, different ways of trying to describe how something that is truly formless can take on a form.
For instance, there's a story where Rudra erupts from Brahma's forehead when he gets angry during creation. That's not a birth, it's a symbol of that fiery, transformative energy you need to make things happen. Or think about the form of Ardhanarishvara, half man and half woman. It's this beautiful way of showing that before there was duality, consciousness and energy were just one single unified whole. And in the yoga traditions, he's the Adiyogi, the very first yogi. He wasn't born. His origin was the dawn of enlightenment itself. Each story is just another facet of the same brilliant diamond. And all of this brings us to this really profound idea. If Shiva isn't a being who came into the world, but is the very source from which the world comes, well then his very form has to be a kind of teaching, right? He teaches us through stillness, through silence, and maybe most powerfully, through the incredible symbolism of his appearance.
His form isn't just something to be worshipped, it's something to be reflected upon. Every single attribute is a message, a guide to help us understand the nature of reality, and ultimately the nature of our own consciousness. When you contemplate him, you're contemplating the universe, and you're contemplating yourself.
So let's decode a little of this philosophy he wears. The sacred ash, the vibhuti that covers his body, that's what's left after everything material is gone. A constant reminder that nothing lasts forever. His third eye isn't physical, it's the inner eye of awareness that burns away illusion to see the truth. The crescent moon shows he has mastered time itself. The serpent, a symbol of fear for most of us, is just resting calmly around his neck, showing he's conquered both fear and death. His trident, the Trishul, shows his power over the three states of being. And his drum, the Damaru, beats with the very first rhythm of creation.
But okay, let's be practical. How in the world do you connect with a reality that is so vast, so abstract, so completely formless? Well, for thousands of years, people have used a symbol that points right back to that story of the cosmic pillar, the Shiva Linga.
Now, the word linga itself just means a sign or a mark. It's really important to understand that it's not an idol to be worshipped as Shiva. It's more like a signpost that points towards him. It's the most basic, fundamental symbol of that formless absolute, a physical reminder of that infinite column of light that has no beginning and no end. And get this, some of the most sacred lingas are called swayambhu. There's that word again, self-manifested. Like this one you see here. It's a natural stone, perfectly shaped and polished over countless years by the currents of a holy river. It's as if nature itself is creating a sign of that uncreated principle, echoing the whole concept of Shiva's existence. And the worship, the puja that surrounds the linga is all about making the abstract tangible. The sacred bath, the abhishekam, where you see water or milk being poured, that's a symbolic act of purifying your own mind. The offerings of leaves and flowers, that's about surrendering the ego. And the chanting of mantras, that's about aligning your own personal vibration with the sound of the cosmos. It's a way of touching the infinite through small, heartfelt, finite acts.
And so we come full circle, back to where we started. Shiva isn't born because he's the very backdrop against which all birth happens. He doesn't age because he is time itself. He's the stillness at the center of the cosmic dance, the silence that holds every sound. He is that unmanifest potential from which everything comes, and to which everything eventually returns. He is the ultimate observer, that pure consciousness that witnesses the whole grand drama of the universe.
And that leaves us with one final thought to ponder. If this eternal, unborn, unchanging consciousness is the very foundation of the cosmos, then doesn't it have to be the foundation of our own being too? Perhaps the whole journey to understand the birth of Shiva is actually a journey to discover that silent, observing, and timeless part of ourselves. So the real question isn't just about him, it's about us.
What does it mean to find that stillness, that unborn reality within? That's the question that these stories leave for each of us to explore.
That was today's story. Please do like, share and subscribe for more such interesting stories. Let's connect with another story. Till then, stay blessed.